Welcome back to my series of mindustry. Today brings much progress. First things first, let's actually pull up the campaign and continue the series. So, where we left off, if I pause the game real quick, we had built all of our coal mines here, or our first coal mine there, and then pumped it into these graphite presses to get granite. Or at least I'm pretty sure it's granite. I keep forgetting. Is it granite or is it graphite? Why doesn't it tell me? I don't know. No, it's graphite. No, it is. Yeah, that's graphite, and then is this I forget things a lot, but it doesn't matter. We made these blue rocks over here that are gonna do a lot of big good things. No homo. And next up on the list, we also built our first lead, our first copper. We built another coal mine, and then set all this up and built the first power sources, which is going to be really OP with all these batteries. In fact, if I look at it right now, yep, 12,000 out of 96,000. Amazing. And then all of these defenses here. So yeah, we did a lot. So now it is time to do more. So the real trick here is just to get as many resources as physically possible at this point. So what I'm going to do is right over here, I'm not even going to worry about the enemies attacking, by the way, because like at this point, they're not getting nowhere. So I'm going to wait for there to be a gap, and then I'm going to do it now. Why did this happen? That's not what's supposed to happen. There we go. So I'm going to put an overflow gate there, and what that's going to do is whenever this path becomes full, it's going to offload this way. So what this is going to do is this is going to lead to my secondary graphite mine. So let me go on and quickly do this. So routers, and then we're going to have the conveyors leaping out of the routers because we do not want to clog the system. And then factories, let's put down a bunch of graphite presses. So now we have all those, and then this is going to offload this way through here. And there we go. Now we have a secondary system. Now this is only going to become active the second that this system is full. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can fill up the system. Lag. Okay. Lead over here, lead over here. Let me look at my tech tree real quick. So currently we have 5K lead, which is really good. For the record, that is extremely good. Like, because you're not going to need too much lead in this. Now, you will start to need more and more copper and lead as time goes on, but as time goes on, you're going to get maxed out on lead and copper really, really fast. So, like, having 5K lead and having a really good system currently to get lead is no big issue. Like, I'm fine, for now at least. So the next thing we're going to need, as you can see, if I bail now, I'll get 2K graphite, but we're going to need a lot more graphite, because graphite is produced by a factory, so you have to actually make it, and then you have to process it through. And that's a big system which requires a lot of moving parts, which later on in the game, it's really going to be important that you make sure that you minimize the space that you're using to actually get these resources. Because, yes, you will need to produce them if you do plan on building stuff out of them, but if it's stuff like pyrite, then, like, yeah, I can build this and set it up somewhere, but I don't have sand, so it's not that good an idea if you look at it from like, well, we can save resources first of all, and then we can use those resources that we save to build more systems that we can use. So it's simple, just like common sense, really. You don't want to build stuff that you're not going to use, and when you're done using it, then you destroy it, which sadly will not give you the resources back unless it's a storage depot, which we'll get to a lot later. So right here is a big coal deposit. I'm looking for coal deposits right now, because like, I'm going to need a lot of coal to do this. Also, sorry if my hair's a bit messed up, so yeah. So yeah, dang, that sucks. So there's only 3 coal deposits here. So that means that this coal deposit right here is the last one I can use. So I'm gonna set up a wee system here because for some reason I'm Scotty from Star Trek all of a sudden. Thumbs up, like the video if you know what I'm talking about. And if you've seen Star Trek, and if you're excited for the next Star Trek movie, I think it's like Picard or something. So yeah. Hashtag sponsored by me. I wish that the people making these Star Trek movies sponsored me. That would be fantastic. Because I would totally just talk about Star Trek all day. I love Star Trek. If anyone who works at the places where they're making these Star Trek movies, if any of you guys are listening, don't mind just going and talking to me and asking me to sponsor your stuff, because I will totally sponsor Star Trek, as long as you don't screw it up as much as Disney did to Star Wars. So yeah, which, like, in my personal opinion, they did decently with their newer Star Wars movies, but in all honesty, I wasn't around in the 1950s or whenever they made, like, the first Star Wars movies, so I really don't know half the stuff in it, so, yeah. Whoa, 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 no, 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 that's not cool. That is not good. That is really not good. No, please. Oh, why? Waves defeated 8. I didn't even get a chance to bring all those resources back. No! No! Oh my lord, why? Why are you popping up? Alright. Why am I dumb? Well, I'm not dumb, it's just... What the fudge? Ay, ay, ay. Reach wave 15. Reach 20 in ground 0. Yeah. I need graphite, though. This might have sand. No, it will have sand. I know that. So that means I can get silicon, too. Oh, no. That's not what I wanted. That's the exact opposite of what I wanted from this. Fudge. Well, that's just fantastic, if you ask me. So, I'm an idiot, and I wasn't monitoring my security systems, even though I knew for a fact that it was the only defense I had. Why am I dumb? Dear Lord. Alright, so, here's what I'm gonna do. Strategically, it's nicer to have your graphite before you start doing anything else. So like graphite's usually the first thing you're gonna want to get early game, but this time I'm going to take a tactical risk and try to get to wave 20 in ground 0. Now, The thing about Ground Zero is that this is the starting map. So, yeah, and I guess it does make sense to do this just because of the fact that this is supposed to be where I'm starting anyway. So, it makes sense. So, the thing about Ground Zero is that it doesn't have many resources. It only has copper, lead, and scrap. Those are the only things you can get from here. Now, in theory, if you were to bring, like later in the game, if you bring you can bring certain resources with you. You can configure your loadout so that you bring resources that you have in your tech tree with you to here. So in other words, you can invest your resources into getting more, which is very useful. I highly recommend doing that. But that is later in the game, and you need titanium to do that, which is after Frozen Forest. So you're gonna need to wait quite a bit before you can start getting titanium and start doing stuff like that. So let me look at my map. What is that? That's just the edge there. So later in the game, you can get all of the base resources, including graphite and just graphite. You can get copper, lead, graphite, and titanium without having to do refinement or anything like that. Well, you do have to do some refinement. The only refinement you have to do, though, is you got to get these melter things, which basically melts scrap into slag. And what that slag does is it can do a couple different things. But in this scenario, you can pump it into this machine, and it makes a bunch of resources. It makes titanium, it makes graphite, it makes lead, and it makes copper. And it requires power, too. So, yeah, you need scrap and you need coal. But then you also need titanium. Now, in all honesty, like, if you're playing on a map that has titanium in it already, I don't recommend using it, because unless you just need the extra resources, then you're really not going to want it, because it takes a lot of, well, it doesn't take, I can't remember, it's been a bit, but it takes power and it takes a lot of processing, and scrap isn't that easy to come by in these easier maps. But it is really useful for maps that do not have titanium, in which case you can bring titanium with you and build that, and then once you've built it, then you can actually start to make just custom titanium. It's just manufactured. So then you actually have a system that will constantly give you titanium, so you will never really run out. Even on a world that does not normally have titanium, which is very useful to do. Especially for a later level we'll get to. I'd estimate probably by episode 4, at the current progress, as long as I'm not an idiot again and make a dumb mistake. So, yeah. But, moving on from that, so, yeah. We're going to be doing that in the future. We're going to be setting up a system like that. It's going to be really cool. And very good as well. Like, it's a really important thing, and it most of the time is essential to set up those systems on those maps once you have the technology like actually available. So, yeah. Let me check this. Why don't you click? Okay, Mender, yeah. I can't make storage units yet, probably because I don't have titanium yet, so that makes sense. So, as you can see, I'm building my copper system, and thankfully this should give me plenty of copper in the near future. So, then I'm going to go and put in U, U, and U. I'm going to run a conveyor belt leading up to here. So I have that, and then I'm going to delete this, because I'm going to redo this system to have more duos. And then I'm going to put a bunch of duos down. So now I have this copper system. Now I'm just going to start spamming my copper because once you really get this much copper, there's really no point in not spamming your copper. So, yeah. So now I have this copper system right here. Now, the first lead deposit is pretty far away from here. It's all the way up here. So I need to actually get up there, and then I can start using it. So, first things first, I'm going to build my first line of defense, I guess, right here. And instead of it having duos, since there's no really nearby copper deposits besides this one over here, which we'll get to later, I'm just going to build one big wall and use it as a drawback point, so I can basically camp here, and the enemies will come up to me, and I'll just shoot them from here. Now, of course, I'll shoot them before they even get to here. There's a long path. Like, if I pull up my map, you can see this, if it'll let me. Okay, never mind. I guess I'll just go over there because I already have a bunch of stuff here. So yeah, as you can see, it's a large path before you get to this area, the spawn point. So this entire area over here, there's a lot of stuff and a lot of resources too, which is what I like about this map. So now that that wall is built, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start building this copper mine here. And what this is going to do for me is it's basically going to give me copper as ammo for the duos I'm going to put over here. Because I am going to fill that thing up with duos, and I'm going to need ammo for it, so yeah. And dear Lord, if it wouldn't be a good thing to have drills that are one by one. I really did not talk right there. I don't know why. Because apparently I cannot enunciate. Because I am a robot. Apparently. I'm losing my mind, dear Lord. Okay, so. Boom and boom. And congratulations to me for building something that I can't build yet. A bridge conveyor. Because I don't have access to lead. Because I'm an idiot. So I'll see if I can build this before the enemy gets too close. If he pops up on this radar, then I'm canceling build. Well, I won't cancel all of it, just all the stuff that hasn't been built yet. That's a thing that I hate about PC version of this, because I have to aim my shots. So, like, the best thing you can really do in this, if you want to actually kill the opponent, is just kamikaze them. So I'm going to mine a bunch of copper here, and then I'm going to take it with me. Okay, that's interesting. I can only hold 44. I'm going to take it with me, and then I'm going to drop it off into the core. There we go. So now I can build you, and there we go. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to build a metric fudge ton of duos, specifically so I can automate this last line of defense. So yeah, but of course you're going to want to check your defenses and not make the same mistake I did last round, which in all honesty, I rarely make that mistake. Like, not to sound like the perfect player here, but I rarely make that mistake in this game. So, yeah. That was one of the few times I actually make that mistake, so, yeah. Oh, no, wait, don't do that. Go this way. There we go. So now if this overflows, it goes to here. Perfect. Wait, that's not right. This is supposed to go this way, and if this overflows, then it goes... Wait, if this overflows, then it goes down, not the other way around. So this needs to be changed. So I need to move this like that. Do this, this, and then do overflow gate. Delete that. Go to here, and then go to there. There we go. I am the master of conveyor belts, because I totally know what I'm doing. So now if it overflows, it pumps into the core, which is what I want. I want excess copper going into my core so I actually have free resources. So you're gonna die, and then I'm gonna go ahead and set up something else. So over here is another copper deposit. So before I start, if you will, colonizing this area over here, first I gotta secure it. So the main thing to remember in this game is that whenever you're about to build something new, like this system over here, I built this just because of the fact that I needed ammo for these guys. Because this is my main copper, my main copper mine that goes only into my core. And this is my main ammo mine, which pumps into my core when overflowed. So when you play this game, you need to secure your stuff first. And when I say secure, you can guard it with weapons, or you can simply build a wall around it to protect it from random shots, which is what I would recommend doing with some of these ammo sites, because otherwise, if you're unlucky, like I am, then you will, your ammo sites will get damaged, which can prevent ammo from getting to your guns. And in some cases in this game that I've experienced, my ammo places would get hit, and I would not know until the ammo was depleted and my systems weren't working when I was under heavy fire. So I would get completely screwed, and I'd usually lose because there's no systems online that actually give my systems ammo, and by the time that I can give them ammo, it's too late because the enemy's breached through the wall. So, needless to say, I fudged up pretty badly in that scenario, and it's really just a good thing in general not to fall for that. Dear Lord, I'm running out of copper real fast, but thankfully I have the secondary copper mine over here, and I'm going to have a trite area in a minute. And now I'm dead. That's the thing about this, like, when you kamikaze them, they take a lot of fire, but you do too. So now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to, I'm probably wondering why I left a hole here. I'll show you why in a second. Yeah, I can build one more here. Alright, there we go. So, rain fart. I'm going to delete those, because I don't want those. And, then I need to make my first lead mine, like now, so I can actually make half of the stuff here that I'm going to need. So let's do that, just so it's ordered up correctly. That's not going to work. Because why would it work? It's not like I want it to work or anything. It's not like I want to actually get my lead or anything. It's not like lead's important. So let's do that, and let's do that, that, and boom. So this is going to go down here. Now this will probably scrape some of this stuff over here. So if I don't set this up correctly, then it's going to pump copper into these as well, which I don't want. So the way this is going to work is it's going to pump this way and over here. And I've memorized this. Each of these normal bridge conveyors will go a maximum of 3 blocks in between them before they just can't actually reach out there and they disconnect. So that I'm going to save for later. You'll see why. I'll delete those two, I guess. So now the next thing I need to do is I need to colonize this area, or not colonize, but I need to actually build up the walls for this area so it's actually defended. So I'm going to build a wall here, and then I'm going to build a wall here, and I'm going to reinforce this wall, and then I'm going to build that. So that redirects them a slower path to my base. Because it's kind of like fluid, if you will. Because whenever one system is clogged, it'll always, or not always, but most of the time it'll differ to a different path that it can take to get to the same destination. And if that doesn't work, and that path is blocked up, then it finds, basically, it finds whichever part of it is weaker, and then uses that to its advantage by destroying it, which is the main thing that you want to prevent. You want to prevent it from being destroyed. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that it went in the order that you placed it. It's really useful. Yeesh, I'm going to run out of copper here. Alright. Like a boss. So these batteries, I guess I'll keep here for now until they become a problem. So that's my second line, or that's my first line of defense now. This is going to be my first line of defense in the future, and then this the second, and then this the third. So yeah, that's going to be like the final line of defense. Well, I guess this is going to be the final line of defense, if anything, but still even then, this is the backup defense, I guess you can call it. Because I am too lazy to call it anything other than the backup defense instead of what it should be called, which is the, you know what would be better? An auxiliary defense. That would actually sound pretty dope if that was an actual feature in the game. But I guess technically it is because, you know, like you can build them. Oh, I just realized I need to stop these guys. There's just no guys destroying them over here. Because I'm dumb. Yee, that did a lot of damage. So this is where menders are going to become important. So once I have all the weapons built, then I'm going to build menders next to them so it keeps both the walls alive, which is the more important thing, and the guns alive in the event that there's something that hits them somehow. So the next thing that's going to be done... I really put that in a bad spot, didn't I? Dear Lord. So, what I'm gonna do is... Why is there a duo here? Oh yeah, duos can use graphite. Wait a minute, is it actually... Now I can actually determine, is it called graphite? Yes, it is. It's called graphite. Even though it kind of said it's a graphite press, I still wasn't sure because I'm dumb. So, let's get that copper mine going. Or I guess I can use this for the ammo. But these I can delete. Those are useless. At least for now they are. So, first thing I need to do, I need to build my duos. So, whenever I do this, I try to make sure that the range kind of covers everything. So no matter what happens, it'll always be within range somewhere. And if you put multiple things within range, that's really good because it will, it'll basically make it so that no matter where they go, they're getting attacked by at least, I'd say, 10 different duos. So, yeah, really good idea to do that. So, I guess by technicality, I don't need to build duos over there, because remember, they go for whichever path is the shortest, and walls add length. So since there's more reinforcement over here, it's going to go for here. So that means I technically have an advantage to control where they're going. So basically, what they'll do is they will always go for for this path over here, for this path. I was using my finger because I'm weird. So it'll always go for this, and then this doesn't need to be defended because they'll never go for it. Unless I reinforce this, in which case, yeah, they might go for it. I don't know. Unless I reinforce that too. So, yeah. So now that those are built, I'm going to go ahead and hook this up to a copper mine. So, yeah, I'll do that. That's what I don't like about making copper mines, when I have to actually skip out the resources. Because it's very annoying for me to have to miss out on those resources, so yeah. So, if I do this, and this, give me a second to do this real quick. Okay, so I built the ammo system over here. This is all feeding into here, and then I also built the lead mine, hooked this up. So now I have this, and all this is running in here, and you guys were probably screaming in the comments below that I forgot to hook up this bridge to the core. So, yeah. Because apparently I got too caught up in my own talking that I forgot to actually play the game properly. I have issues, dear lord. Alright, so, that was not what I wanted to do. So if I do this, 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 and then I do that, that, and then that, now I have my copper mines. So now I just need to hook this all up to a system that will accept all of these resources. I don't know what the fudge I'm talking about. Okay, so now that's like that. I'll do this, and that will lead down this way. This will go that way. This will go this way. And then this is going to be a bridge conveyor, bridging the two together. And then it's going to lead down this way, in which case it's going to go right here. And then this is what I was saving this for this. And now that's going to go this way. This is going to go this way, and it's going to go all the way to here. So now I have all the copper and lead that I'll ever need. That actually is really cool looking. Dear lord, this is cool. Oh, I need to make this my screensaver. Let me move my robot so it's not covering it. Oh my lord, it's so cool. It's like seeing those pipes in Portal 2 where it's just pumping fluid. It's so cool. I don't know why. So, yeah, that's what this bridge system is for. So now, this is dialed down, but this isn't. So once this starts dialing down, then I should be good to go. I might need to hook up an overflow gen. Yeah, I'm going to hook up an emergency overflow area. So that's going to go right here, and then it's going to lead downward. And then a bridge conveyor that leads to here and goes this way, here, now I'm going to take a second and look over this way. Perfect. All this stuff here is handling it well. So here's what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to set up a bridge conveyor that leads to here and then goes down Oh, it doesn't have to go down? No, it doesn't have to go down. What am I talking about? It has to go this way, up, right, to a bridge conveyor that leads to here. Destroy this, and it'll go in here. And it'll offload here. So now there's 2 conveyors going into there, and you know what? Screw it, I'll make it 3 because I fudging can. So now I have 3 conveyors pumping into here, but then 3 of them turn into 1 and overflow the conveyor a little bit. So now whenever this overflows, it goes down that way. So yeah. It's good. It's good to have an overflow system because then it'll make life a lot easier. So now that this is like this, now I guess all there is to really do is wait. And now that I look at the time, it looks like I'm going to have to end this here. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching me fail miserably with Frozen Forest and then try to regain it by getting to wave 20 in Grand Zero. I'll be continuing this in the next episode. I'll probably let this run a little bit too, so then I can get to a higher wave, because I want to get the resources as well as get through the waves. So I'm not just gonna press this, because what this does, if I actually show you, it starts the next wave of enemies immediately. So yeah, I don't want to just spam that because, in all honesty, like, I'd rather get a bunch of resources and wait and get to the same amount of waves than just spam through and not worry about resources, because we will need a lot of these resources. So this is actually a really good system to have here. And dear Lord, if this doesn't look intimidating. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this playthrough of this episode of mindustry, and I look forward to recording another episode in the future, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.